Hello Australia, my name is Joaquin de Lima and I'm the Libertarian Party candidate for Macquarie. Today I'll be filling in a survey from the National Rational Energy Network. Let's have a look at what their questions are. So the first question that you can see here is, will you support legislation to abandon the net zero policy? The net zero policy massively increases government regulation, centralizes government power, restricts options for energy use, and restricts businesses and personal freedoms. So for that one, it's very easy. I don't need to refer to anything else. I will strongly agree with that one. For question 2, do you support introducing nuclear energy into our electricity network? You can see if we go to the Libertarian Party website and under our energy policies, one of those is in fact to repeal the ban on nuclear energy to provide cleaner, cost-effective options for the future. So for that one, I would also be a strongly agree. Next question, will you support stopping government subsidies or regulatory support for renewable projects? Again, under the same policy, we have enforce a no bans, no subsidies policy, allowing competition between energy providers to drive down costs for energy sources. So that one is also a strongly agree. Next two questions based on the policy that I just showed you. Do you support coal-fired power generation? Do you support gas-fired power generation? Both of those are also a strongly agree. Next question, will you support the enforcement of Article 2.1b of the 2015 Paris Agreement, preventing the construction of industrial wind, solar and battery projects which threaten food production on land and in the marine environment? Now this is a bit of a tricky one. First of all, we have to look at the Paris Agreement itself. Article 2, let's look at Section 1. This agreement enhancing the implementation of the convention, including its objective, aims to strengthen the global response to the threat of climate change. So the premise of this article is that climate change is a global threat, and more specifically, anthropogenic global warming is a global threat. And we can see that the signatories to this agreement is the UN. Now, under the Libertarian Foreign Affairs policy, we can see that we will withdraw from international bodies and treaties. So we don't agree with the premise of this treaty. We don't agree with the fact that Australia is in it, and we don't agree with the fact that we would be enforcing any part of it because it threatens our national sovereignty. So translate that into the purpose of this question as you will. I'll put it neutral just for the sake of answering, but I think my answer speaks for itself. Next question. Will you support stopping the compulsory acquisition of private property for the construction of high voltage transmission lines? So going back to our party policy, we don't want to ban or subsidize energy generation. So I think compulsory acquisition could be under a subsidy. And at the very top of the policies, we can see that our libertarian principles include private property rights. So I think it's pretty safe to say that I strongly agree that we would support stopping the compulsory acquisition of private property. Next question. Do you support Australia exporting coal to foreign countries? Generally, as a concept, I think it's good for our economy if we can get the full use of our resources. Ideally, we want to be able to refine and value add those resources locally. But if we are in a situation where we can do that already, then I would have no problem with that. And under our foreign affairs policy again, you can see that we would prioritize free trade and peaceful coexistence. So for that one, I will also give a strongly agree. Next question. Do you agree that humans aren't causing the Earth's temperature to rise? So this is what I was talking about before, anthropogenic global warming. Since the Garner report came out, an economist, around 2008 I believe it was, I remember reading that, and I agree that humans are not causing the Earth's temperature to rise to a gigantic extent, centralized government control. So I'm going to strongly agree with that one as well. Okay, next question. Do you believe that 100% renewables based on the exclusive use of wind and solar, together with batteries, cannot deliver 24/7 reliable baseload energy? Yes, I agree with that statement. I believe that it's pretty interesting that the whole point of trying to go to renewables is based on the premise that we're going to have catastrophically unpredictable climate and the sources for those types of energy generation, and they're also way too fragile and rely on far too many things that we don't have control over. So just based on logic alone, normal logic, I will strongly agree with that question too. Okay, next question. In the event of a hung parliament, would you support the coalition? Now that's an interesting one, because when I last ran federally in 22, I tried to get together a Freedom Candidate Alliance, and the idea behind that was that although it's difficult to manipulate policy if you're not in the majority, you can do something if you're in the minority. And the idea was that all of us would vote no to every question, including forming parliament. And the very next one would be choosing the speaker. And we would use that level of coercion to get concessions from the major parties at the time that were at a state level brutalizing the whole country through their COVID reactions. So this is going to have to be another neutral, because if we manage to get a hung parliament, I would do everything that I could to keep that parliament hung until I could twist the arm of every major to get every freedom level policy at every level of government that I possibly could. And last question, will you vote to repeal the under-16s social media bill? Pretty easy answer that one. Yes, I strongly agree. I have kids myself. I keep them off the internet and anything else that I don't like them being on. I don't need the government to do that for me. That is just a backdoor way to get internet ID and further censorship of the internet and free speech. So I would definitely vote to repeal that bill. So there you go. That's the end of the questionnaire, and I will get that sent and shared out to the world. Thanks again. See you next time. You made it to the end of the video. If you want to get involved, you can donate to my campaign by going to these links, or otherwise, if you have more time than resources, you can also sign up to volunteer using these links, or if you just otherwise want to join the party, you can join through these links. And as always, this message is authorized by me, Joaquin de Lima, for the Libertarian Party, 2 Lynn Parade, Prestons, New South Wales, 2170.